Say, sound check. Can you guys hear me? Just let me know if you can hear my voice as well. I think time passed too fast, guys. Like, it feels like last stream was maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago, but it's been 4 weeks already. How was your month? Was it productive? Was everything okay? Did you guys cooked good bangers or not? Welcome everyone. So many familiar faces along with the new faces. I'm happy to see all of you guys. So Go Wild says productive, yes. How is marriage going, bro? Is everything nice? Nick says productive. Nice. And Ryan staying with caffeine, energy drinks. Thanks to him. His baby is growing, bro. It's like 3.5 months old. He sleep a lot. That's nice in the nights. In the day, we always take care of him. So it's less tiring. And yeah, I have more energy recently. So I think everything is starting to get in the track, you know. It's getting easier from day to day. I'm very appreciated for that. And yeah, it's awesome to be a dad, yeah. Thanks, man. Also, like there will be some huge news regarding the label. We will announce it, I think, in November. But we made big deals, so it's gonna be like a new chapter for the label. I'm gonna keep giving the details later. But for now, like next week, we will have a very nice release with Dustin, my friend, my German producer friend. A very fast, hard techno-ish, big roomish track we will release on this Friday, next Friday. Yeah, maybe I was gonna produce that track. Why not? So guys, as usual, the YouTube channel members, the demo picker is gonna pick their demos as the first priority. Then we will start picking the random demos from all of you guys. So I wish you luck. Let's start the bot. Let's start it. So today's date is 28th, 9th month. Like this. Yeah, let the Hunger Games begin. Okay. Let me check. It says 7 demos from member section, 1 demo from feedback submissions. It doesn't make sense because we have more than that. Can we list demos? We have more demos. Did I write the date wrong, maybe? Because we have more demos than that. Yeah. Should we run it again? Or maybe I can choose update. Let's see. I think now it's gonna make sense. Yes, now it makes sense. Okay, 30, yes. Let me pick the demos fastly, then we can start listening to them. Yeah, yours is picked already. So I'm gonna open all the members demos first. Then I'm gonna pick some not member demos as well. Okay, this much member demos. Let's go. Check this one. Dropbox, okay. But I don't like YouTube or Google links, you know. You can't skip. You can see the waveforms and stuff on the Google Drive. Okay, yeah, let's start with like almost 10 demos. Sparkle, let's start this feedback stream with Sparkle, Night of Psychedelics. You know, like for a beginner techno track, I think I really like the vibe of it, like the drops and the breakdown. Breakdown is the next level. I can say that. The kick bass, the sidechain when the kick hits in the breakdown. That gritty bass, the synths. I love it, bro. It's very nice. So the thing is, in the breakdown, I think the trans super solves, I think they could be a little bit fatter. I feel like it's kind of thin, but other than that, breakdown was very nice. So first drop, I just like it. It's very nice. It's a nice introduction for this kind of track. But in the second drop, I was expecting a little bit like a twist, some unexpected stuff. It felt like a little bit repetitive, like comparing to the first drop. The thing is, the bass, if you check the bass, let's check it with span. So that's your sub, kick, kick and sub sits right. After that, and this is the lead. So after that, you don't have much frequency on the bass, like in this area, like till 150 to 250, that's that area. Let's check it out, maybe from the... So this part is kind of empty in terms of bass. I will just boost a little bit of that part, so you can have more warmth in the bass, in the low end. also, I feel like you could feel a little bit better the spectrum in the leads. So this lead has 300 Hz. I will dip this part just a little bit, and it definitely needs some mid frequencies. Mids are kind of empty. So maybe just work a little bit on the EQ of this lead. And yeah, maybe more variation, more ear candy to the second drop. And I think that's a pretty nice track. What do you guys think? Yes, the bass mix. Yadav says he don't like the bass mix. Yes, I think he needs to feel this part. That's kind of empty. Yeah, maybe for the lead, saturation layering would help. For the bass, again, saturation might help. Yeah. Nice track, bro. Thanks for sending this one. Especially the breakdown, I love it. You just need a little bit fatter climax synths. So this part, the sounds could stand out a little bit more. I don't know, maybe a layer, maybe just some EQ, but that's it. It's almost perfect, the breakdown. I will just tweak a little bit of the synths. By the way, for you, welcome, brother. So I can't make it to ADA this year. Hope to see you guys in next year. Yeah, I will pass. I have other duties here. Thanks for the track, Sparkle. Thanks, brother. Let's jump to Lucas. Yeah, so honestly, like very, very, very promising track. But I was reading the chat as well. So the track is overly pushed in the mastering. That's why everything is kind of sounds like over compressed. But I think that's not the problem with the over maximization in the mastering. I think the problem is your kick and bass is extremely full. Okay, so this is the outro. And check the frequency response. This is the outro when you have the drums and kick and bass, right? That's it. Kick, bass, and drums are playing in the outro in this part. So, in this part, kick, bass, and drums, no synths, nothing is playing, but the spectrum is already full. So you don't have anything to fill into that spectrum. So if you put for example, a lead sound, a synth sound, and some ear candy, it doesn't have any room to sound. Then the elements are starting to fight with each other. So that's the problem. If you have too full kick and bass, how can you put other elements to the track? So that's why, like, the track started extremely nice. It was full of power. The kick bass, I love it. Amazing mixing on the low end. And then after build up, I was expecting a huge drop impact, but it couldn't impact because it's starting to overcompress instantly in this section. So you see, like, when the kick hits, I want my chest to shake, but it's extremely flat because it's like full of compression, full of saturation because of the clipping. Yeah, so what I will do is I would maybe lower everything a little bit in terms of volume, or maybe you can just solo kick and bass and put every element one by one, and make sure when you add some element, it's not getting masked by the bass, for example. You know, if that's the case, you need to adjust the balances, or maybe what I will do, for example, in the second drop when you have this lead coming in. So, for example, when you have this low character distorted lead, maybe just high cut the bass a little bit, because the high end of the click, you know, the grit of the bass, obviously gonna fight with this distorted lead you have. So just high cut the bass until there's no, much high frequencies left. So you have space for the lead in the second drop. So you can just, with this logic, you should make sure no elements are fighting in your mix. Yeah, create contrast. Yes. So that's it, bro. I love the idea. I hooked the idea. It's very nice. The ear candies are nice. The melodies are nice. I love it. But the mixing needs work because this track is so fat and it's clipping. And elements are fighting with each other. That's why drop is not impacting. For example, the snare just before the drop is has like hitting bigger, and like has more low information than the kick in the drop. The snare in the pre-drop is fatter than the drop. Check this out. That's feel more heavy. Kick sounds flat, but the snares are, the feel toms, whatever it is heavier. So yeah, you just need to make sure the kick is always the biggest thing and rest of the elements are not fighting with your kick and bass. So that's it, bro. Very nice track, by the way. Just need to focus more on the technical side of it. Yeah, nice track for sure. Thanks for the demo. Let's jump to Water and Spirit by Go Wild.
on you, and you will be clean. I will cleanse you from all your impurities and all your idols. I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit within you. I will remove your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. I will place my spirit within you and cause you to follow my statutes and carefully observe my ordinances. For you are saved by grace through faith. This is not from yourselves. It is God's gift, not from works, so that no one can boast. It's by faith.
Bro, the ambience is very nice. I really enjoyed the main melody. Like it feels very trancy, you know. Yeah, the melodies are very nice. I like this. The thing is, I'm hearing some distortion, you know, in the piano, in the intro and outro. Maybe it's because you had a mistake on gain staging. You know, maybe at some parts, the signal was clipping, you know, plugin to plugin. Maybe that's why you are getting some distortion in there. I will check it out. Secondly, the drop kick, you know, the whole kick, I think, I don't know, something wrong with the kick. Kick doesn't blend with the track. So the basses are okay, but the kick is not punchy or, you know, feels very separate from the track. Someone in the chat says this as well. So I will look into it. Maybe just keep all the basses and just put a decent kick that fits better to the track. You know, when you pick the right kick to the track, whole vibe is changing. It's like remaking the track instantly. When you find a good kick, the right kick that fits better to the rest, everything is like a puzzle come back together, you know. So I will just find a better kick. Yeah. Other than that, why don't you use any pre-drop fills? You know, it's like after build up is instantly going to the drop, and it's not creating any tension. It's not making us wonder what comes next. The drop is instantly coming. So I think that's taking a lot of energy from potential energy you are wasting. Just don't be lazy. Make a proper pre-drop. That's important, bro. You need to have a pre-drop. You see, it's so instant. I want to wait. I want to vibe with it, you know, do something like that. Just go with a pre-drop. Yeah, I know the feeling, bro. I was too lazy as well, but the little details gonna make you a better producer. Every professional producer spent hours on little details. Then when you check the track, so you say, oh, this track is in a very professional level because they just, you know, work on the little details. So that's the thing. So the breakdown section, I think you also need a low end. The respace is missing, or it doesn't need to be a respace, but it's the easiest thing. Just go hold a sustained note, and that's okay. Or maybe just put a note that follows the chords. That's okay with a respace, but you can get more creative as well. But make sure to fill the breakdown with some bass, because it's a long part without the bass. then yeah, this is the bass music, you know. You must have a bass in some certain sections. So that's it. Yeah, thanks for the demo. It's a nice track. Yeah, I'm also reading the chat meantime. Yeah, good ideas. Yeah, idea is already good. And unique, you know. This is not something we hear. It's not generic stuff. So that's why it's very unique. And if he can make the technical stuff better, I'm sure he can, you know, put his verse, his music to very big audience. So wrong ritual, brother. It's all random. Bot is picking, so don't don't write to me in every minute to pick your demo. Pray for the FL Studio God. Let's jump to next one. Ashton Ray remix Morton Fit Bone. You are gonna get me copyrighted, but I'm gonna play it as well. But maybe if I get copyright strike, after the stream ends, I will just delete this part. So don't be angry to me.
I want you to take me home.
Like guys, honestly, what a remix, right? It's very nice. If I will play melodic techno in my sets, this is the track definitely I would play. You know, I love it. It's so nice. So just two things. You know, Ashton Ray also sent me another track this morning, and it was fire as well. So congrats, bro. Your productions are getting very, very, very nice. I'm happy to see that. And just two feedback on my side. Maybe one more feedback in the chat. He says the respace could be fatter in the breakdown. Yes, I also agree that. But two feedbacks on my side. First, the kick is not as loud as it should be. Just couple dBs you can boost the kick. Then you will see that the drops are hitting very hard, because the rest was okay. Rest was nice. Bass was very nice. And second, I think in the mastering, couple dBs more you can push it. The track feels a little bit dynamic, too dynamic to me. You can make it more tight, more compressed. Just, you know, couple dBs kick, maybe 2 dB kick boost, and maybe 2 dB mastering boost. And this is fire track, bro. Congrats. You know, there's no negative feedbacks on my side. The vocal fits perfectly. The ear candies are nice. The drop leads are sick. It's nice. Nice remix, bro. Nice one. Nice. Very good track. I love this remix. The flow is very, 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 very flowy. I don't know how to express. Nice one. No, Loudwave, I don't release melodic techno. Unfortunately not. If I have time in the future, I will start another alias, you know, another artist name, and maybe post melodic techno too, because I can produce melodic techno and I love melodic techno. Especially producing is so fun. But I don't release it. I only release, you know, the stuff I release. I release techno, big room, and yeah, techno, big room. Not big room, not even big room techno, I can say, recently. Okay, Ryan, it's been 1:30 a.m. in, yeah, it's work in progress. Okay, I won't go hard on you. So, work in progress track. So let's not talk about the mixing and let's focus on the production feedbacks. I think the overall is very nice already. The structure we have is sound promising. I think we are missing some melodies in the breakdown. You know, I would go when all the arpeggiatos playing. You know, the choirs are singing. You could have some top melody. You know, something like that. Some question and answer, call and response would work, or I don't know, some plucky melody, some small motif that could fit, that could fill the breakdown. I think that was missing. We definitely need some better pre-drop fills in here. You know, some drums and something. Maybe you can still have some words. Other than that, the groove was very nice. I like it. Kick can be punchy. Loud wave is right. I was also not punch but click. You know, I was expecting some click. So yeah, I would have a little bit better top kick. You can EQ it as Loud Wave suggested. Maybe transitions could be better. For example, after the drop, when you go to the breakdown section, you know, in the last four beats of the kick and bass, why don't you have a filter automation and cut the low frequencies, you know, till 200 hertz? It could smoothen the transition from drop to breakdown. Because like when we have full kick bass and instantly goes to zero, it feels not connected. So the vocals are placeholder and breakdown needs much more. Yes, when you add the breakdown melody, I think that will do the job. I think that's it. Maybe for the bass, you can consider to saturate it a little bit. The sub was okay in my opinion, but I wanted to have more warmth in the bass. It was kind of missing. This is more than a melodic techno. I don't know. This is a different aspect of melodic techno. It's a techno with melodic aspects. It's more techno than melodic techno. I love it, man. You know, in the first drop, I feel like you have some Oliver Huntemann vibes. Yeah. Nice one. Very nice one. So I'm keen to hear maybe in the last stream, the finished version of this one. The variations on the arpeggiato is very nice in the second drop. Yeah, breakdown is a better melody and work on transitions. It goes well, bro. Cream was, yeah, I can also say that too. Nice one. Thanks for the track. And thanks for staying awake in Australia. So yeah, you said you tried melodic techno. I think it's kind of different than regular melodic techno. I hear like tons of psytrance elements in this one. I think the kick is a little bit too sharp. I don't know. If you want to go with melodic techno sounds, try to find the kick a little bit less clicky and with a bigger low end. So for the bass, you know what I will do? I will render the bass as one bar, and then I will just loop it. Because when you play it on the synth, maybe it's in Serum or maybe it's in, I don't know, another synth. So every time it plays, it's slightly different. And that's, it's randomizing the phase, and there's some other parameters randomizing every time it plays the MIDI. So what I will do is I will just render a portion of the bass and loop it through the whole track, because if you have this randomized on in the synth, it's not going to be as tight as you want. So yeah, that's what I would do in this kind of bass. I think the bass is not stable, I can say that, especially the sub. So for the arrangement, I think we need a longer build-up, longer breakdown. So after the first drop, we have a short breakdown, and then we got another drop, and then we got some build up, and then we got another drop goes to outro. Maybe this arrangement could work. Maybe you just need a little bit longer breakdown and just a second drop, and that's it. And I would work on the melodies, I would work on the melodies a little bit. You can make more memorable melodies. I think these ones are not standout enough. By the way, the synth selection is very nice. The ear candies, the little details you put on the synths are very nice, but I wanted to have more variation. Maybe that's because we have 3 drops in the track. We have the same drop in here, same drop in here, same drop in here. So it's kind of too repetitive. So maybe volume up the vocals, maybe change the arrangement a little bit, keep the things shorter. And I think that's it. Yeah, it's going good, bro. It's going good. Just work more on the low end, maybe a different kick, and maybe a simpler arrangement. That's what you need. So that's it. Wrong ritual, bro. Please don't spam the chat. I will never pick you by myself. If you keep doing that, yeah, I will just... If the bot picks, I'm not gonna listen. Yeah, please don't insist this much. It doesn't look good, And it's not gonna give you a good karma. That's a bad karma, bro. So don't do that. Let's go to next track.
You don't say much these days, and I don't ask why. Feels like we're both just letting it die. You're here but you're distant, like a room gone cold. I reach but there's nothing left to hold. And I don't know when it changed, but I feel it every day. I'm losing you now, like air from my lungs. You're fading so slow, but I know that it's done. I call out your name. You move like a stranger, but we're the same face. You're not pulling away, you're just drifting in place. I speak but it's static, no signal comes through. We're saying the same words, but they don't feel true. And maybe that's all it is, the quiet end of this. I'm losing you now, like a light through the blinds, still standing in front of me, but out of time. I call out your name, but it just disappears. You're close, but not here. I won't fight the fate if you're already gone. No need for goodbye if we're both moving on. I'm losing you now, and it's quiet somehow. No crash, no flash, just silence too loud. I call out your name, but I'm done keeping score. You're not mine anymore.
So what an emotional track, bro. Kogan, you bring me big room technos or just pure emotions, bro. This month was pure emotions. Like overall, I like the arrangement. Nothing bad with the arrangement. I think the mixing could be improved a little bit. The first thing, the vocals, I feel like the vocals are clipping or I don't know, distorting. So there are some artifacts, some distortion in the vocals. I couldn't address what's causing that. Maybe because it's too loud. Maybe you just need to compress it a little bit. So the peaks of the vocals are hitting to the ceiling a lot. And it feels distorted. So, and maybe some resonation, I don't know, maybe a suit kind of plugin would help, or maybe some compression on the vocals would help you. I feel like the vocals and the leads are kind of fighting, right? So I think you need some track spacer or again suit or similar plugin to separate the vocals and the synth from each other in the frequency they are clashing. That's super important because they are nice, the melody and the vocal fits nicely, but you need to mix them more clean. They are kind of fighting a little bit in the drops. And the other thing I realized, the drop bass is not warmed, in the frequencies of 200 Hz again. The sub is nice, it's a very subby drop. So I can see that, you see the sub is in here, but then we have a huge dip after the sub, so why don't you have more warmth on the bass? This bass will sound nice in headphones, but it's not gonna translate to proper speakers or club system or whatever you name it. It's gonna sound good on earphones for sure, headphones. It's gonna sound nice. They can give you proper sub because they are literally stick to your ear, right? But if you don't have these frequencies, these upper bass frequencies, your track is low and is not gonna translate to the other speaker systems. So just also check this out. What else? Another thing, like this is the drop, the height of your drop, right? Like -30 when I mouse over it, and check it the break bass. It's louder than the drop. So just try to lower a little bit bass and energy power from the breakdown so the drops could sound bigger. I think, yeah, that's it. Little mixing decisions, maybe a little bit mastering touch. This is pure fire. Nice track.
We live what we choose.
You know, overall, very promising and very creative track. Congrats, bro, Tuna. Very, very enjoyed this overall. I'm gonna give the feedback for the bass first because that's literally the same feedback from the previous track. When I check the low end of your track, so I can see you have the sub and then you have a huge gap. You know, if we go look in detail, so you have huge sub, and then the other bass frequencies you don't have much, you know. That's a problem. It's gonna sound good on earphones, headphones, but it's not gonna sound good on speakers. For example, in my speakers, I can hear the low end, I can feel the sub, but I don't hear much bass. I hear the top frequencies of the bass, but the very, you know, the actual frequencies of the bass is kind of missing. So make sure to feel the second octave of your track. You know, if your track is, I don't know, C or G, I don't know. Let me check, maybe G. So make sure to feel this frequency, 90, like 100 hertz. This frequency needs to be louder. If you do that on the bass, yeah, the track is G. So if then you need to boost to 100 hertz. Just check it out. So your sub hits here to minus 5 dB, and your second octave is like minus 19. Like there are more than 10 decibels difference. If you feel the second octave, also boost it, the bass is gonna lift a lot of, and it's gonna feel the spectrum much more. You will have so much tight, low end. That's the thing. Also, maybe the breakdown is a little bit empty, and maybe it could be longer, but you need to feel it better, maybe with some melodies and stuff. The second drop, the pre-drop was kind of too sudden. I would have a gap and then impact the second drop. Because first I like the lead of the second drop. It sounds very nice, but it gets too repetitive, to feels like a loop very fast. So you need more variation, but I like the idea. The stutter, the glitches sound very nice. And lastly, the main plug is too loud. And I think EQ wise, I will dip a little bit 300 hertz and try to make it fit better with the rest of the track. That's it. Yeah, I talk too much. Nice one, bro. Nice one. Thanks for sending this one. Good track. Oh, finally some big room techno.
Dance floor, get down, get down, get down. In the dance floor, get down, get down, get down. In the dance floor, get down, get down, get down. In the dance floor, get down, get down, get down. In the dance floor, get down.
Get down.
Overall, nice one. Especially the breakdown to build up to drop was very smooth, like full of energy, full of tension building. Those parts I like it. The parts I don't like it, the bass. I like the kick, but the bass, it feels like the bass was not exactly in key. It's sounding a little bit like a rumble, but it's not a rumble. It's like a rolling bass. But if it's a rolling bass, I don't hear the notes clearly. You know, it's not. So yeah, the bass was complicated. I think you should work on the bass. Make sure, if you want to go rolling bass, go with a proper rolling bass. I think this preset or this sample is not clean enough. Or maybe just go with a rumble, you know, like a Lister's track or old Medic's tracks. That's also a case. But bass needs to be worked for sure. Yeah, when you do that, it's gonna take to the next level, I can say. For the acid, I think it's out of the mix. And other than that, there wasn't variation in the acid. So it's like always has the same velocity. You know, acid needs to be more dynamic. It should be accent, you know, higher velocity and lower velocity. So, some of the notes should be harder, some of them could be softer. That makes an acid stand out. But this one was kind of too flat. That's why it was not in the mix. Kimi, yeah, welcome, brother, welcome. And I think the second droplet was kind of, yeah, I would expect a little bit better sound design. This lead was too regular. It's good. I can't say it's bad, but it could be better. Yeah, the lead could be improved. By the way, welcome Zantz. Andreas, my brother. Long time no talk, bro. Welcome to the stream. So many brothers in the stream. Full of testosterone. So yeah, Nick and Kostamak. Good track, but just check the things I mentioned. I'm sure it's gonna be so much better if you do that. The arrangement is already releasable. The second droplet, acid, and the low end needs work. Yeah, Andreas, it's good, bro. It's good. How are you doing? Okay, let's listen something even harder, probably. So previous track, check this low end, check this rumble. This type of bass could fit your track, Costa.
Groove on the dance floor. We don't wanna hear that weak shit no
Dude, this is another pure hard track. I love how you go to the triplets. I wasn't expecting that. But then maybe the build up in the build up, maybe you could tease the lead, maybe earlier with just a one shot or something like that. It could make the lead blend better. The sound of the lead is very nice in my opinion, but in the drop, I think, is it distorting? I don't know. I think the master was kind of hit to the limits. Maybe it's clipping as well. That's it. Just check it out. I love the low end. The kick bass is nice. The lead selection is nice. I love how you speed up the track in the build up. Sorry, breakdown. That also feels very nice. Maybe you could have, I don't know, a vocal, some thematic stuff. Maybe something to give more identity in the breakdown, but that's okay. I like how we add variations in the second part. It's nice, bro. You know, nothing to say. Just make sure that you are not clipping in the drop because it was kind of in the limits, you know. I don't know if your mastering limiter is clipping or not. I will just check it out because it feels like the lead kick bass kind of too loud in here. This. Yeah, that's it. Make sure you are not clipping. I think this track is good to go. So nothing negative on my side. It's already very nice. You know, maybe you can release it on Clubwork. Did you try to send them? I don't know, maybe you already signed it. Like sick Will Sparks, old Will Sparks vibes. I like it. Yeah, for the previous track, it needs to lower the transient. Maybe it's a little bit too clicky, yes, but I think that's okay. In the end, if it's too clicky, you know, you could make sure you are not clipping in the final maximizer. You could put some saturation, you know, FabFilter saturation or something like that. You can exclude the low end, you know, put a saturation that affects like 500s and above frequencies. Give it a little bit saturation, or you can do this with ozone exciter as well. Like it can flat all the transients. Saturation flatten the transients, so it's compressing them. This is what I do, you know, if my track is too clicky in the drums and in the leads, I never go with transient shapers and, you know, do this or no compressor. Just put a little bit saturation and it's fixed. This is literally pure madness. So far, maybe I can, if it's YouTube, I can't see the waveform, so not to forget, I will just pause it and give feedback. So till this, the low end compared to the mid frequencies is so little. So you need to balance these frequencies, make sure they are not this much, you know, overtaking the spectrum. The kick is not cutting through, and you have tons of gap in the low mid frequencies. This is basically empty, and we need these frequencies. So make sure to fill with bass. These frequencies fill with bass, volume up your kick, and make your kick more clicky. Yeah, it's like we went to the madness, bro.
But you must always remember that the only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing.
Dude, that's ear candy. I just paused it. Make sure you don't have these resonations all over the, you know, 0 dB. Make sure to volume them down. Yeah, mixing needs work, bro. you don't want this gap on your mix down, especially on your drop. But I think the idea is nice.
The world still breathes such madness. I want to hear you squeal like a pig. I want to hear it, pig. Squeal!
Yeah, sometimes the melodies are not in the grid. Maybe you do this intentionally, because this is the madness. Yeah, bro, the originality is there. I can say that the originality is there. And please next time send me SoundCloud or Dropbox link. It's hard to listen it on YouTube. So I will skip the rest, but I got kind of got the overall problems in the track. And yeah, please let me know if you have any questions regarding to that.
Still breathes such madness.
I can say that the idea is so original, so unique. That's for sure. But you need to work on the production side, the sound selection, and mostly the mixing side of it. Thanks for sending this demo, bro. It's good to hear something unique. I'm saying this from my heart. What is this? 158 ID. Whose track is this? Nice one. Nice one. Okay. So I was reading the chat. Maltina says maybe too much sub. I think sub is okay. Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe, I don't say it's too much. I think it's okay. Let me check like this. The bass was sounding very full. So I think that's the kick. So maybe you can lower the whole bass and volume up the kick a little bit, because if this is the kick, the bass and the sub is kind of a couple dBs more than the kick, like maybe 5 dB. You mean only from the kick? Maybe if this is D sharp, I will still volume up the kick a little bit and volume down the bass, especially the sub a little bit. Sub and kick, I like to have them in the same loudness. Maybe kick louder than the sub. Yeah, it could be everything. I in my KRK Rocket 8, the low end was okay. But yeah, that was a pretty hard kick and bass for sure. I love the arrangement. It's fast. It's not boring. It's very nice. The thing is, let me check the chat also. Volume of some instruments need to balance better. Also, second drop doesn't sound good. Bad mix in the first part of the second drop. I would say that maybe Yellow is right. I would have an addition to Yellow's feedback. In the second drop, the build up to drop transition was kind of too fast. I would have a gap. And maybe you could go just triplets in the second drop. That could put the track in extremely different twist, you know. So even maybe if you don't want to go triplets, even after the build up, just have a gap, you know, then make a better build up, a little bit longer transition. Then the second drop could impact a lot of hard. I think the melody and the lead is very nice. I don't know, bro. I love the rest. The overall mixing could be cleaner, I think. It's not tight. It could be much more cleaner, for sure. And yeah, I can say it's something bad to the arrangement as well. Arrangement is nice. Production is nice. Mixing could be better. And maybe the second drop, a better pre-drop to impact the second drop better. Yeah. By the way, Coco asked if I have a recent mastering tutorial. I already shoot it, bro. Check it out. I will find it too. You can find it. You know, I had a tutorial about stock plugins and third-party plugins. I have 2 mastering chains in this video. It's very new, fresh. Yeah. Okay, nice one. This one is nice. Okay, what is that?
مش بعيد كنا ناكل كل كاس جدلا كنت غالبا عليكو جوان سكوير جيبوا لورا شبيه جبنينا عرفتوني لو نمشي فيلم الميريكا كان فيكا كان فيكا كان فيكا كل مكان كان فيكا
Is the lyrics Indian? It's not Arabic. This is Arabic, but I think the lyrics are not Arabic, right? Like overall, I think he's a or she's a Neve producer. I can say that it needs work. Overall, it needs tons of work. Like I can't say everything, but I can say a couple. Keep the arrangement more shorter enough. This time you have 3 drops, maybe make it 2 drops and just a long build up. That will be enough. Try to get the arrangement, copy the arrangement from existed remixes. You will get more idea about this. Yeah, technical side needs tons of work. The kick needs work, the bass needs work. When you play melody with the vocal at the same time, maybe you don't do this. Just put the vocal and then go to a melodic part. Maybe don't play them at the same time. Work more on the sound selection. There are many things to improve in the track. And I can say that you will improve in time. So this is way better than my first productions. So just keep producing and do as much as track or as many as track as you can. Produce more, and with this experience you will get better in every track. So just keep doing that. Yeah, I can say tons of things to improve, but first work on arrangement, copy some other tracks arrangement, and work more on your sound selection. So that's what I can say. Yes, okay, let's go to next one. Go back to Melodic Techno.
Can we go back to how it was? Before my pride got in between us. Go ahead and hit me where it hurts. Because at least then I'll feel something. Screaming in my face, kicks me out your place. I got nowhere to go. Can we find love again? Is this time? Yeah. Tell me how many more tears will drop till you hit me with can we talk? Can we find love again? Is this time? Yeah. Tell me how many more tears will drop till you hit me with can we talk? How many more tears will drop till you hit me with can we talk? It's our love again. Can we find love again? How many more tears will drop till you hit me with can we talk? Can we find love again? Is this time? Yeah. Tell me how many more tears will drop till you hit me with can we talk? It's our love again. I crashed my car into a wall. I tried to text, I should've called. Seen blue and red, it won't be long. We went to war, it didn't end. I bit my tongue, you hit my chin. Worst enemy is my best friend. Screaming in my face, kicked me out your place. I got nowhere to go. Can we find love again? Is this time? Yeah. Tell me how many more tears will drop till you hit me with can we talk? It's our love again. Can we find love again? Is this time? Yeah. Is this time? Yeah. Is this time? Yeah.
How many more tears will drop?
How many more tears will drop till you hit me with can we talk?
Nice one, bro. Especially second drop steps. Whoa. Nice one. I like it, bro. The thing is, like you say, it's not mixed or mastered. That's why I won't say much about it. Especially like the second part of the second drop, was too much stuff in top of each other. It needs to be mixed properly. It's kind of like too much stuff. Clipping, yeah, something like that. So try to mix it clean when you start the mixing session. I think when you have vocals and the melody at the same time, you need to separate them properly. So make sure to have track spacer or some similar synth so they don't fight with each other. You need to separate them perfectly. That's the main key of this type of drops. By the way, the bass is like every time it hits, if you check with LFO tool or some other, visualizer, you can see that the waveform is different. It's okay to be waveform to be different in the upper bass frequencies, but for the sub, we want the sub to be much more stable, right? So maybe try to render the bass, or maybe make sure the oscillator that plays the sub frequency have the random turned off. If you do this with Serum, make sure the lowest octave of the oscillator has random off. So then the sub is always hitting the same, not the phase is not gonna be different in every hit. Then you will have more stable low end. That's super important. Or just have a render and use a wave file for the bass. But rest was awesome. So loud wave asking, is dynamic EQ better as the normal EQ? It's a different. It's a different thing. You can't compare them. Yeah, it depends on what you want to do. Yeah. Something about the release that keeps changing a phase a bit. Yeah, maybe if the release is overlapping. Yeah, I don't know how to fix it right now without seeing it. But if you make your low end more tight, it will be awesome. Nice track, bro. I'm keen to hear the finished version of it, after mix and master, because the production and arrangement is already there. Nice one. So I think if you mix it tight, it's a label release already. I don't have a Melodic Techno label, but I'm sure not Afterlife gonna sign it. Let's be realistic. You need more connections and you need a different, more unique style. But this was already unique, already nice, and I think I don't know the Melodic Techno labels, but a mid-average label definitely would sign it in my opinion. But you just need to mix it properly.
Right now, you can save right right now, you can trust. Right now, you can save. Right now, you can trust. Right now, you can save. Right now, you can trust. Right now, you can save. Right now, trust. Nothing, 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 nothing. Nothing, 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 nothing. Nothing, 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 nothing. Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. Jet 2 holiday.
So, Ray, I remember your previous track on the stream. Compared to that, your production in 1 month or 2 months improved a lot. Very nice, bro. You're in a good track. Just keep whatever you're doing. Just practice more. I think in this track, the kick and the bass was, very bassy. I can see that it's hitting in here, the sub. But again, we need maybe more warmth in upper bass frequencies, or maybe lower the kick a little bit because it was kind of too boomy. And make sure you are using a proper top kick. Currently the kick is not cutting through. So let me think. Other than that, the vocals are very creative. I like how you chop them. I like how you place them. It's nice, but I think the vocal is out of the mix. Maybe give it more reverb, maybe make it fit better to the track. And I think the vocal in terms of key is kind of getting off key. The key of the vocal are kind of random. So also check that out. And in the second drop, the melody, maybe sometimes I'm hearing some off keys. And also the drop lead is kind of too sloppy. Maybe make it more tight, lower the release a little bit. It's too long, Maybe you need some more tighter sound. Yeah. It's good, bro. Keep working on it. Yeah, make sure to check the MIDI notes in the second drop and also for the vocal. Maybe you can put an auto-tune plugin to the vocal, some real-time tune or pitcher from the FL Studio. And make sure it stays on the scale. Yeah, and top kick. Yeah, it definitely lacking. It's all about contrast, You can make a track, a very dark track, if you put some hi-hats, that's very beat crushed, less high frequencies, less bright hats, then the track, this kick would be sound very clicky. The click would be, top kick would be enough. But it's all about contrast. With listening with the all other elements in the track, the kick becomes so much darker and push back to the mix. So it's all about the relationship between instruments, Thanks for the demo.
This is how we rave. Rave. This is how we rave. Rave. This is how we rave. 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 This is how we rave. Go hard all the way up into outer space. My body wanna play. This is how we rave. Party every day. What you want me to say? I got that extra money on the runway. Go hard all the way up into outer space. My body wanna play. This is how we rave. Party every day. What you want me to say? I got that extra money on the runway. This is how we rave. This is how we rave. we rave.
So I think like the melodies, the ARP melodies, I really enjoy them. The arrangement is also nice. It's not a boring arrangement. It's going. The flow is nice. The thing is, vocals are kind of too loud. It's above the mix. It's not inside of the mix. So try to lower the vocals a little bit. Maybe they are kind of too bright. Yeah, maybe give a little bit more reverb. Maybe longer feedback of the delay, so it can blend better with the track. That would do the job. Other than that, I think the kick and sub, the rumble is okay, but you need a rolling bass, some mid bass. So I see today in today's demos in the stream, I see many tracks are having same struggle with the sub and the mid bass relationships. So I have a scheduled video for tomorrow, but then in this week I will shoot a detailed video about this problem, so you can learn how to make it, how to balance it. Because when you listen it on earphones, headphones, it might sound good, but it's not translating with the big speakers, you know. So if this track is played on a club, you could hear the sub, but you wouldn't hear any bass because that's frequencies are missing in the track. So low end needs work, needs a better mid bass in this case. What about the lead?
This is how we rave. Party every day. What you want me to say?
Yeah, vocals are extremely loud in this case, so it's kind of masking everything.
I got that extra money on the runway. Go hard all the way. This is how we rave, rave, rave.
In here as well, like I think when you put some mid bass, everything is gonna come together. Yeah. The tutorial is gonna be this week, later this week. After tomorrow's video, I will shoot it in the first free time. Yeah. You say you got no speakers. Yeah, I will shoot the video. Just make sure to turn on the notifications so you get notified when I upload it. You don't need to have headphones. Because it's all about the numbers from the span. You can mix it by literally just looking, and I will explain it. No worries. So good track, overall good track, but mixing needs work, as I said. Let's go to Matrix.
Dangerous, you got black in your eyes, and I know you're some kind of demon, but I want everything that you can give me. I want to feel the sin on my body, getting closer. Oh, can you smell the fear on my body? How I'm giving into it. We're alone. I let you decide the rules. Play whatever game you tell me to play. On my mind, you make me lose my mind. Every time I'm around you, I go crazy. On my mind, nobody does it like you. For you, can you feel the attraction? The more you push, I just wanna pull you closer. I want your hands all over me. How do you do it? Make me feel like I'm high, like a schoolgirl with feelings I shouldn't have. Work your magic, 'cause for you, you know I gladly surrender. I wait for you, baby. Oh my, you make me lose my mind. Every time I'm around you, I go crazy. Oh my, nobody does it like you. Oh, I love it when the lights go out. I love it when I see you go da 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 down. Oh yeah, I love it when the lights go out. You make me wanna go like that da da down. Oh, when the lights go out. I love it when I see you go da 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 down. Oh yeah, I love it when the lights go out. You make me wanna go like that da da down. Oh, when the lights out.
Matrix brothers, I think. Did you change your style? I was expecting big room technos from you. Yeah. Besides all the jokes, I think the mixing is nice. There's nothing to fix in the mix. Master is okay. It's good. Maybe you could clip it better. Maybe for tighter hi hats, top loops. Maybe you could just clip them a little bit more. So that's okay. I think the track is always with power, with dancing. Maybe you need 8 bar, 16 bar of real breakdown. Just put it very slowly. Maybe because like it's always feels like a drop. That's why like the second drop didn't impact me much. Even though this fake drop is nice, I love it. But still, like the breakdown, maybe you can take away a little bit more energy.
When the lights out, more you push, I just wanna pull you closer. I want your hands all over me.
Maybe it's because the music is breaking down, but maybe you need some part without the vocal. Maybe just 4 bar or 8 bar. I don't know. Just get another opinion about this too. But I think the problem is there's always vocal, right?
You can do it.
Yeah, maybe we need some part without the vocal. That's what I mean. Yeah. I think you can check this out. Other than that, it's already finished, already releasable. Very nice one. And such a radio-friendly arrangement as well. Maybe just get rid of the vocals, maybe in the first part of breakdown. Maybe. Welcome, bro, Uniki. Welcome, brother. Uniki, yeah. Oh, I'm tired, guys. It's been 2 hours. Okay, last track for today's. Let's go. You have a demo plugin and it's reducing the volume in every 30 seconds.
Stay in my
Like overall, I think the groove and the vibe is perfect. So if you check with span, you can see that you have huge gap on 2K to 5K, 6K. So this frequency is like responsible for presence. Yeah, that word. So it makes your track more bright. The high end is okay, the cymbals, hi-hats are okay, but because these frequencies are kind of empty, it doesn't bright enough. I can say that. The build up, the breakdown needs work. It's kind of too empty, too long. Try to make it more interesting. Maybe put it more synths. Maybe put a proper melody in the breakdown section. And for the build ups, I think that part also just a snare, a re-space vocal not working. You need tons of ear candies. Make the tension, rise the tension. Try to achieve that. And maybe before the second drop, consider to have a pre-drop section, a better pre-drop section. So don't be lazy, work on it. And you will see that the second drop is going to impact so much bigger because now it's kind of too sudden, empty build up and then a drop. It's not impacting big. So you can work on this, but overall the vibe, it's very dark. I like it. Nice track. So guys, it's been 2 hours for today's stream. I got my father duties to, attend. My family is waiting. So this Friday, I will have a release on Lunatic Rave with Dustin. I wish I could give more feedbacks, guys, but yeah, I have very limited time. I'm doing my best to make these streams. Thanks for being with me for the end of the stream. You guys are awesome. We are an awesome community. I love you guys. So a big Lunatic family. I couldn't achieve this, what I'm doing without you. So thanks for all the support. If you want more professional, more detailed feedback, check the membership of my YouTube channel. I'm providing one very detailed feedback over email, one of your tracks. And we are talking about the track until we both satisfied with the results. So if you want to take it to the next level, check my memberships. And that's it, guys. So see you next month. This Friday, check for my next release. So love you guys. Take care.